Now at 10, Husky heartbreak. The women lost to #1 seed South Carolina in the Final Four, which now puts their dreams of a 13th title on hold. Thank you so much for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. As the team shook hands, a tense moment unfolded between UConn's Gina Auriemma and South Carolina's Dawn Staley. With these photos behind me capturing the intensity of the brief scuffle. Now we'll have much more from Phoenix coming up in the next half hour. Meanwhile, watch parties were held around the basketball capital of the world. And as Fox 61 Stephen Reels shows, he was at. It's now live from Manchester. Stephen, what was it like for these fans to watch this happen?
You know, Annette, you could probably put two and two together. A lot of people weren't happy. My mom had to text me to make sure I was doing okay with this loss. I think the only people in New England who are happy with this loss is Jordan's Furniture, and that's only because that they don't have to pay $50 million now in refunds. But if you knew a Huskies fan in this period of time, you knew that they were holding on to hope for as long as humanly possible. Because going into tonight, the first half, the vibes were high. The UConn chants filled the air. The energy itself inside Illicit was infectious. And this is what the Connecticut community thrives on. But once that second half hit, people were on the edge of their seats. Still hopeful though, until the last few minutes. But we didn't want to dwell on that loss too much, and so we asked fans shortly after the game what message they wanted to send to players and the coaching staff.
Obviously was not the outcome we were hoping for, but nonetheless, we think the girls did great, and of course, we are always rooting for them.
They fought hard, and we love them so much, and there's always next season, WNBA, the draft, like, big things are coming.
They're players, and it's part of college sports to, love them no matter what happens. They've played hard. It's definitely not the outcome we wanted, but we still love UConn women's basketball no matter what. Gino and UConn women forever.
And Annette, you know, at the end of the day, the fans told me that the UConn women still had an incredible and impeccable season. They didn't lose a single game until tonight, and that's something that they can be proud of. Live in Manchester, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
What a great message. Thank you so much, Stephen. Well, as the men still fight for a win, Parkville Market in Hartford is ready for a big weekend full of UConn fans. Vendors are now preparing for hundreds of fans to party tomorrow in celebration of the UConn men's basketball team's success. There are dozens of vendors who are serving food from around the world. Staff have been planning for several weeks to make sure they have something to offer for everyone.
We're going to have drink specials. People have 22 different vendors, food vendors to choose from, many different countries. We're going to have DJ Refill playing here tomorrow before the game to pump people up, get the energy up.
And Parkville Market has designated themselves as the Husky hub of Hartford. Fans of all ages are welcome and admission is free. And in less than 20 hours from now, the men will tip off in their Final Four in Indianapolis. The team is led by Alex Caravan, who is looking for his third title in just 4 years. Only 8 players have ever won 3 NCAA titles back in the 60s and 70s. Caravan could make history this weekend, and his teammates lean on his veteran leadership. But you'll see some are not afraid to roast him. Today, one player joked with the media about the old man being ready to move on.
He's like everybody knows that old dog that just won't die. You know, like I know my auntie had an old dog. He lived for a while. He just wouldn't die. You know, he just stay around. It'll be hard to kill him. So I feel like that's AK right now. He's been like a vet, a legend in college basketball.
A what?
Old dog.
Oh wow. It's an interesting way to put it, but I mean, yeah, I don't want this to end. I want to keep going. I want to keep fighting and really keep wearing that Connecticut jersey across my chest. So, yeah, I guess the old dog wants to keep living for its treats. Then if my treat's a win, then yeah, I'll keep fighting for it.
And the question that remains is, will the old dog fetch a historic third ring? The Huskies will first have to beat Illinois tomorrow in the Final Four with tip-off at 6:09 p.m.
UConn Huskies! UConn Huskies! Huskies! UConn! Woo!
And you saw it and heard it there. Husky Nation is already en route to Indianapolis. Special flights out of Bradley took off hours ago, packed with UConn fans. while others are still hitting the road determined not to miss the Final Four. Fox 61's Aaron Coogan takes us to the airport where it was game on.
Well, it was a sea of blue, white, and red as UConn fans said, hey, I'm not going to miss the Final Four game in Indianapolis, now taking one of the 2 additional flights added to the schedule. It's game on.
I was there in Houston, I was there in Phoenix, so I had to be there for Indy.
You'd think we were in stores with the amount of Huskies merch being repped at Bradley International Airport Friday. UConn fans Allison and John, 2 of many, who said it was a non-negotiable after the Swish heard around the world that they'd be a part of the action, joining the team for its Final Four run in Indiana.
Oh my God, we were there. It was so energetic. It was so exciting. I've experienced nothing like that in live sports at the end of the game ever again, especially for a team I'm rooting for.
I never given up on this team, love this team. Go Huskies.
But with just 6 days to figure out how to get there, it was a race against the clock to figure out accommodations. Anticipating the demand, Southwest Airlines announced the addition of 2 direct flights to Indy out of Bradley International. Making the trip more accessible, Huskies fans wore their pride on their sleeves, ready to see the men take it all the way to the championship.
Oh, it was special because we were thinking about going to Newark and JFK, and we were talking today, we're like, we're going to stay till Tuesday because we're definitely winning it all.
I'm thankful it's a nonstop flight going straight there, so expect a nice ride, high energy and everything.
Meanwhile, for others like Huskies diehard Dan Nardini,
we got the car from Waterford, and they picked me up in Southington at 4 a.m.
Opting to trade runways for highways, he and his crew embarked on the 12-hour car ride to Indy early Friday morning. The long hours, he says, will all pay off when the Huskies advance to the championship.
Remember back in 2004 when the men and the women both won it, and hopefully the same thing happens this year.
Aaron Coogan, Fox 61.
And we will have much more on the Huskies throughout the show, but of course you can always find all things UConn on Fox 61 Plus by scanning the QR code on your screen. Tonight we have an update to a story we first told you about yesterday. A former substitute teacher has been arrested in a second town after he's accused of inappropriately touching elementary school students. Jack Gill was arrested by Hamden police on March 27th and charged with multiple counts of sexual assault and risk of injury to a child. He was released on bond and then arrested again yesterday by Branford police. That was on similar charges. Branford Public Schools says he only worked 1 day in the district back in January, and after reports of inappropriate conduct, he was banned from working in the district. Well, right now there are new developments tonight in the investigation into a 12-year-old girl's death in Enfield. Police have now arrested Anthony Federline, her stepfather, and they've charged him with sexual assault and risk of injury to a child. But he is not charged in connection with her death. Investigators say DNA evidence played a key role with possible samples matching those found on the girl's body. Officers were first called to the home on Elm Street back on March 18th, where the child was found unresponsive in her bedroom. The suspect was a school bus driver. He was fired immediately after his arrest. The medical examiner is still working to determine how the girl died. Well, right now there are more questions than answers into a mystery out of North Haven, where tonight both police and neighbors are scratching their heads. For months, someone has been stealing street signs in the center of town, the Grove Road area, and even extending toward Clintonville Road and Middletown Avenue.
Well, I mean, it takes money out of the town budget, I would imagine, but I think it's probably teenagers or something. I mean, otherwise, why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. When they start taking the stop signs, we're going to be in big trouble.
And beyond the tax dollars spent on replacements, police say there's also a major safety concern. Emergency crews rely on these signs to find addresses quickly during an emergency. Police are now requesting that neighbors check their security cameras for any suspicious activity as the town now works to replace the missing signs. A Southern Connecticut State University student is now in ICE custody after being detained off campus, and tonight that's sparking concern across students in the community. Students say this situation is leaving many feeling uneasy with questions about safety and what could happen next. Right now, there are talks of a possible protest and flyers that call for a rally circulating around campus. University officials emphasize there has been no ICE activity reported on campus and say protocols are in place requiring federal agents to go through the university president, with campus police as the first point of contact. School leaders say they're continuing to gather information while encouraging students to reach out for support services if needed.